You're listening to the Walt Weekly Podcast with our host, Walter Latham, and our co-host, Michelle Sweeney McCombs. Voices in Society Impacting the Culture.
Hello all, and thank you for joining another episode of the Walt Weekly Live Podcast, Friday Live. My name is Walter Latham, along with your co-host, Michelle Sweeney McCombs. This week's episode is going to concern the COVID vaccine. It's out there, but to get it is like hitting the lotto. So the title of today's show is The Jab or Not the Jab? That's the dilemma facing Black folks and brown folks. All right. Now, there has been a reluctance. I just want to set the tone before we move forward. There's been a reluctance to take the vaccine that Black and brown people have had since there was, the medical malpractice, such as the Tuskegee experiment. So, we don't trust them. All right. So people of color have suffered the most from COVID-19. We died like 3 to 4 times more than white people. So if anybody needs it, we do. Now the vaccine is here, but they are far less likely to be received as a dose for many of the same reasons, because it's hard for us to get over what they've done to us. So one thing in my research that I found out was that nearly 300,000 city residents who have received one dose and whose race was recorded when they started keeping track of, the racial makeup of these people getting the vaccine, 48% were white, 15% were Latino, 15% were Asian, and 11% were Black. Latino and Black residents were underrepresented, because if you look at the population of New York, 29% are Latino and 24% are Black. So these disparities were very, very striking, especially for city residents 65 and up. Only 9% of the roughly 125,000 older New Yorkers vaccinated were Black. And this is as of a few days ago. So I was very surprised. But then again, you look at the history of medicine and how they treated us and experimented on us, even infants. As I went back and did the research for this, I was overcome. And they used to take our baby, experiment on our babies.
Right.
All right. But we're going to move along. Excuse me. We had one of our own have COVID, and he's on today. He's one of our panelists. And we had another panelist take the vaccine because it became available for him. And I remember going back, if we go back a few episodes when we first started talking about COVID vaccine, I told everybody, I said, look, I got some of those COVID, what they call them, COVID morbidities. I got high blood pressure. So I'm susceptible to get sicker than someone that doesn't. So I told everybody, I'm going to take it. So the panel, and they were telling me, no, I'm not taking it. I'll wait to see what happens to somebody else. So since that time, we had one of our colleagues with it and one that took it because it became available. So let me turn it over to Michelle so we can get down to the nitty-gritty and start talking about this. Okay. All right, Michelle.
Hey, thank you, Walter, and good evening, everyone. The Walt Weekly Friday Live is sponsored by Beauty Blends by Ami Soap and Love and Michelle Sweetie Hair. Our intro and outro music is provided by Uncle Nephew and BD3. Today's guest panel, we have Gregory Coleman out of North Carolina. He's the CEO of Illumination Media and Technology and Engineer with the Walt Weekly. We have Christopher Sweeney out of New Jersey, retired sanitation worker and CEO of Johnny Roof's Catering Services. And we also have Returning guest Stephen A. Smith out of Atlanta, Georgia, educator, second chance business funding credit specialist. Thank you all for being here. We may have one coming in later on, but right now, this is our panel for today. Thank you, Walter. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. And another thing, this is what is it? Valentine's Day weekend. I better not forget. I gotta go get something.
That's right.
Oh, I'm already caught
That's
because my
right. I
wife
didn't
is
get
on the
mine in the
phone.
mail from you, man. What's up? You late, dude?
Oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? Better late than never, right?
That's
So
true. Happy
hey, you do
Valentine's
something.
Day, everybody.
Happy Valentine's
Yeah.
Day to you and everybody. All right. Hope y'all guys have a good one. All right, and a safe one. All right. So let's get down. Let's
Mhm.
to the questions that we have. We want to talk about first, Stevie. See if you had COVID. Now, before you even say anything, I remember, like I said, we we took a little poll, and I was the only one that was going to get it. Y'all guys say you go first, and then we'll follow. All right, how do you feel about that now since you got COVID? And but you overcoming it, and I think you're still on the mend. You sound good, and you know we prayed for you because you scared the hell out of us. So how you feel, Steve? And what are your sentiments now?
Well, I'm feeling so much better, man. I first started having COVID symptoms on Friday, January 22nd. There was a show that day, and I just felt terrible, and I didn't participate. Um, I mean, I had the chills. Just couldn't stay warm, and felt bad. Went through some different phases. With the temperature being high, I'm usually, I know the normal temperature is 98.6, but I'm usually somewhere in the 97 range. And I stayed right around 102 for about 9 days. Never got higher than 102, but never got lower than 99 or whatever. So, we dealt with that, dealt with a little bit of the runs, a whole bunch of phases and things of that nature. But right around the 26th or 27th of January, the coughing became an issue, and for 5 straight days, it got completely out of hand, and that I just could not stop coughing, and I couldn't have a conversation like I'm having right now. And anytime anybody called, they were the calls were very quick. It was something that I just couldn't get it together. Couldn't keep it together. Couldn't complete a call with anybody because of the coughing. And ultimately on Saturday, a week later on the 30th, I was hospitalized. It was really ridiculous, and I'm just so thankful. If you'd like me to elaborate on the COVID ward, that was something in and of itself. Never, and at no time during the the all of the symptoms, all of the things that I was going through, did I ever feel like I was going to be on a ventilator or anything of that nature.
Oh, okay,
But I just
okay.
knew that something. I mean, this is I never catch a flu. I mean, I'm 55 years old and I'm never caught a flu. Never, I mean, no nothing. And for me
Right.
to just cough and cough and cough and have
Mm.
all these symptoms and this, that, and the other. I mean, if you look for COVID symptoms, you were to Google them. The only one that I did not have was loss of taste and loss of smell. I never lost my taste and I never lost my smell. But for
Oh, okay.
5 days, it was absolutely ridiculous. And I will be haunted by one thing while I was in the hospital, just listening to the emergency go, because I'm in the COVID ward, and the one emergency going to another emergency, going to another emergency, going to another emergency, and I'm sitting there.
Wow.
Wow.
Ultimately, I was placed on my
Mm.
stomach and put upside down to try to drain my lungs, and
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was something else. But I was given steroids and antibiotics. I asked about some of the some of the the things that the people that have means. Was any of that stuff available to me? And I got all kinds of excuses about that. I'm not going to say one way or the other because I'll never know whether or not they had some of that stuff, some of those anti virals or whatever. I mean, some of the more sophisticated stuff, even that
Right.
Yeah, some of that stuff that our buddy took.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So I can't say one way or the other whether or not any of that was at my disposal, but I just feel like, hey, just thanking everybody for the prayers. Again, I'll never say that I felt that like that this was the end, but I mean it's just the most
Right.
miserable feeling, and after I was released with full of steroids and antibiotics, it took about a day. And after 5 days of just coughing and just never stop coughing, and you literally coughing myself to sleep, the coughing let up, and some of the virals. I mean, some of the symptoms started to go away, and it just
Did you
listen.
ever did you ever go
It's
have to go on oxygen, or did you have to monitor your oxygen levels?
Well, let
And
me tell you. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you, about my sister Jerry, who had just gone through was a similar experience. She had the COVID maybe 2 weeks prior to me catching it, and the fact is that
Wow.
she the first thing that she sent me was the oximeter, which
yeah,
a normal level is anywhere between 95 and 100% oxygen. And
Bless
right.
her.
I always stayed in that range. I did. If you go below 90, it's you need to get to a hospital immediately. I never was anywhere close to that.
Okay.
But so that my oxygen level was cool. Uh, I'm a the only reason I was hospitalized was because of coughing. It seemed like I'm sure that some, if not all, have experienced some serious coughing. But I mean, this thing was coming from my toes, man. It was just an absolutely miserable experience. But I listened. Had a lot of people praying for me. I know that I missed the show on the 22nd. I know I missed the show on the 29th, and
Oh
I
yeah,
missed the show
yeah.
last and I missed the show last week on the 5th. I couldn't complete a conversation. I couldn't talk to you guys. So I mean,
And we didn't
so
know
Oh
either.
no.
We didn't know. We didn't know.
you know, yeah, yeah.
We said,
So,
"What happened to
but
Steve?"
Yeah,
So
health is first. Yeah, health is first. Quick question, Steve. Do you know how you caught it? Like,
the thing about it is that I was around my baby girl Skylar on the 21st, and out of my rotation of the people that I dealt with, she was the only one that was, because I hadn't seen her in a few weeks, and I mean, I would never let her know, but that's the only person that was around that was different, and immediately, it's your child. I mean, we're parents and things of that
right.
nature. I was just sitting there saying to myself, I said, "Hey, listen, let me make sure
Mm-hmm.
that she was COVID
Mm-hmm.
negative. That was my concern. And Devin, who I'm around all the time, my oldest daughter, and Ian is away at college. So the thing is that I just wanted them to both be negative. And if I were to say to myself uh, where I got it from, and it was probably one of my daughters.
mm,
They
mm,
they could
Oh
be
wow.
asymptomatic and
Right.
give it to
Right.
somebody and still test negative and not know that they've given it to anybody. But I mean, I'm just putting that out on World Weekly. I've never said anything to either one of them. So I mean, just I mean,
okay.
that is the only thing that I absolutely think of. I have my mask on. I always sanitize. I do all the other things, and
Mm-hmm.
it's funny is that
Right.
everybody's telling me now that you're Steve, you got a 90-day window, man. You could do whatever now and stuff like that because you got all of these antibodies in you. I said, man, shoot, I'm with all these variants, all this crazy stuff out. I'm still doing
No,
the
you're not
exact
taking
same
that
damn
chance.
thing.
No, that's right.
That's it.
That's
So,
right.
you
But
know,
don't they have a treatment
mhm.
for that where they extract antibodies from you to give? I think that may be obsolete now with the vaccine, being introduced. But they used to use what they call a antibody treatment for COVID
Right.
victims, wherein
Plasma
someone that
treatment,
had COVID,
antibody
right,
plasma.
right,
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's what I'm. Yeah, I think that may be somewhat antiquated now, or is it still being used? Or would you donate if asked?
All these months later, because what's today, February 12th, and when it really hit
Yeah.
last year in March, all these months later, they still don't know what the hell is going on. So I mean, but I mean, just listening to those nurses, those dedicated medical personnel running from one emergency to the other emergency, beds in the beds in the hallway, people all over the doggone
Mm.
place, man. Suffering from COVID. Atlanta is, a hot spot, man. Just it's something, and I have been in prayer for people as a result of being in that COVID ward, man. Just an absolutely miserable experience.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
imagine. Can't even imagine how you felt. It's tough.
Now, Steve, if you could go back in time, prior to you getting COVID, and when we were talking about the COVID vaccine, and I question y'all guys, and you said, nah, I'm not getting it. We'll wait and see. What would you recommend now? Would you recommend people take the vaccine?
Let me tell you something. Um, you know, watching the numbers after what people that congregated on Thanksgiving, people that congregated on Christmas, and on New Year's. I had, and I'm sure that Greg will attest to that. Even before, this happened to me, I had finally acquiesced and said, listen, if that vaccine becomes available, I'm gonna go ahead and take it. Now, when you polled us in either November or December, I was totally
Mm-hmm.
anti-vaccine. So, you know, uh,
Right.
I've got. I'm happy that my two uncles, my two aunts. In fact, my mother took her second shot today. But all of
Oh,
them have been
great,
vaccinated,
fantastic.
and
That's
and
good.
and,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just, I mean, and Greg got vaccinated, and I'm sure he'll elaborate on that in a minute. And if that thing becomes available, well, let me put it this way: I have a good friend of mine that was put me to the front of the line because I am
Mm-hmm.
55 and I do have a comorbidity just like Walt, and the fact that I do
Mm-hmm.
have high blood pressure. That's the only pill I take. I take amlodipine, every day,
Right.
10 milligrams, and keeps and it regulates my blood pressure. So I was eligible to take the uh, the vaccine on the 18th, and I have an appointment to go and take. But now I've been told that I should not take the vaccine for 90 days after contracting it. So I'm looking for somebody to take the shot that I'm supposed to take on the 18th. You know,
And maybe I should fly down there, but I'm afraid to go on an airplane.
yes, right. Because I'm scheduled to take it on the 18th. But all of this, CDC guidelines and all these other things, which again is, who the heck knows? But I mean, it's suggested that I don't take it until 90 days after I tested negative. So that's
Right.
where I'm at right now. But
Right.
my my mindset has completely changed in terms of the vaccine. Absolutely changed. But like I said, Greg and I were on a Bible study that we do on Tuesday night. We have a cousin named Paula, and she's works as a medical professional in the Bronx, and she took it, And as a result of being on the front line, and I finally said to Paula, listen, I'm ready to take the doggone vaccine. This thing is getting crazy, and unfortunately, I got it. You know, so
Wow.
uh,
I'm gonna
couldn't have this
ask you anything,
conversation the way I'm
Bray.
having it right now. Last week, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and you got
Yeah,
an appointment, man.
yeah.
That's something that we're gonna get to it, but I'm getting very frustrated trying to get one. Great. You took the vaccine; it became available to use. I think you did your first shot, and you pending your second shot. Am I correct? No, no
I put
problem, man.
myself on mute.
Yeah, I do that all the time, and I can hear Michelle saying, "Walter, Walter," So, look, you took the vaccine, right? That you did one or two,
Yeah,
right? All right, and you
I
got your
took one.
second
I get
one
my second
scheduled.
shot on the 26th,
Oh, you guys
26th
so
of
lucky
February. I'm scheduled
down
to
in
take my
North
second shot.
Carolina, boy. Y'all guys lucky. We can't get anything up here.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
mean, it was definitely a case of luck with me. I just happened to be around where there were no shows, and you know I was able to get there immediately, so I was able to take one of those no-show slots
Okay, okay.
because
Could you?
they have to throw the vaccine away if they don't use it, so they'll just rush anybody in there. So
That makes
I was
sense.
fortunate enough to be in place when that happened.
Yeah, that's what they should do. They should never throw anything out. Just jab
No,
somebody.
no.
You know what I mean? Instead of throwing it out. So, I mean, what about after effects the following day? From what I understand, you go through this one day of, not feeling well and this and that. What
Yeah.
was how did you feel the following day after
No,
the,
it definitely. One of the big factors behind me getting it in the first place is because just recently went through that battle, the cancer battle, and my white blood cell count is low, which means I'm more susceptible than most. Um, they took that into account, when I had to go, get the shot, and I don't know whether that had an impact on it, but it kicked my butt for about 3 days. Just I was tired, listless, just wiped out completely. Had felt like what was cold symptoms, but it subsided after 3 days. I just didn't have the energy to do much.
so you
So
always lasted 3 days. I heard that, you should take one day off, the following day off.
well, and I think a lot has to do with my immune system. Being
Ah,
that my immune
okay.
system is compromised in the first place, it probably hit me a little harder than some. You know, so and I'm not. That's me just giving my own medical advice. I don't know whether
No, no,
that's
no, no,
actual
no,
or
no. I don't
not,
expect
but
you to give advice. No, you don't want to
yeah,
do that. Yeah, but
yeah,
I was curious because you're the real deal. You know what I mean? You and Steve. So now I am going to do another poll real quick before I proceed with these questions. All right. I know I have, Chris on the line. Chris, would you take the vaccine, or did you already take it? You're an essential.
I
You know.
haven't I haven't taken it, and I'm strongly considering it now.
Okay. So
Uh, I do want to wait for there are a couple of other companies coming out with um, a vaccine that you only have to take one treatment. So, and I'm probably at the back of the line anyway
okay.
because I don't have any underlying conditions. But
Okay.
I am considering it. I've changed my position on it.
Okay. All right. Michelle,
Um, can you hear me?
now again. Yes.
Okay, I have to think about it because I do have a heart condition, so I'm not sure. At one point, I said no because I don't trust. I have trust issues with our medical system, so I'm definitely considering it. I just need to read up on it and uh, find out what the CDC is saying. And my younger sister cannot have it. She had COVID, and she cannot get the vaccine because she's Down syndrome.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm thinking, no one in my family has had it. I just found out actually my aunts took it the other day. So, they're elderly. So we'll see what happens. But I really would prefer if I can. And if I do decide, I would rather have the one shot and not the double.
And that's it, Johnson and Johnson, I believe, that's coming out with the one
Hmm.
shot.
I can't
Okay.
wait, boy. I got stock with them.
Oh, okay. Hey, yeah, you gotta look out for you. Yeah, I understand. I understand.
That's right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I have to consider it. But yeah, once I get all the information, side effects, if I'm eligible, yeah, I'll definitely consider it.
And I
Okay.
was one too. I was initially, when you took that poll, I
Hmm.
said no, I wasn't going to do it.
I
I
know.
Right.
remember having some deep, discussions with my wife and both of us. Like, nope, nope, not
It'd
doing
be a
it.
bummer when I do decide it. They won't even have it. It's hard to get it right now. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I'd rather them do the people that are at higher risk. You know, and
Okay.
see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, get out the way. If it's not your
Hmm.
turn, just don't try to
Yeah.
get in the front of the
I
line.
mean, exactly. I mean, I believe like all of us have had a touch of it. I've had no taste, dry mouth, no scent. And I did my own home stuff. Just a touch of it. Those are the only things that I've had. But like regular symptoms of a cold, it's really hard to tell the difference. But I think there's more extreme side effects with COVID. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, now, um, Greg, which vaccine did you take? Did you take Moderna, Pfizer?
Moderna vaccine.
I'm sorry,
I took the Moderna,
took the Moderna.
Moderna
Okay,
vaccine. Yeah.
okay, okay. All right, all right. Now I got a question for you guys. Is any one of you, when it comes to your kids, are anti-vaxxer? You know what a anti-vaxxer is?
Sure. Just people
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
opposed to taking any type of vaccine.
Right, right. So I don't have anybody that's opposed to giving their kids, getting them their shots that everybody gets when they're babies. Like the measles and TB, mumps, stuff like that. So we don't have any anti-vaxxers on the panel, do we? Okay, all right, great, great. All right, another thing is, I was thinking on the other side of this issue, is a lack of vaccines. I know y'all guys had it. All right. You were fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time. I know my wife and I living in New York, we having a hard time making an appointment. All right. I don't know whether anybody else on the panel
Is
has
that
reached
because
out.
of is that because of a private doctor that you're trying to get, or is it one of these
No, no,
locations?
it's
Mm.
availability. Yeah,
Well,
they got these.
I want to say something in that regard. I know that my uncle Billy and my aunt Paulette, it was told to me, they live up in Westchester County, and
Right.
Mount Vernon, White Plains, all that kind of stuff, and they just could not get an appointment. But both of them went down to the Bronx and got
Mm.
an immediate appointment in two separate locations. One took one at 10 o'clock in the morning, the other one took one at 12:30 in the afternoon. But they were able to get it. They weren't able to get it in Westchester County, but they went over into the five boroughs, right to the Bronx. I mean, they're right there on the border
That's
of,
so
of the
odd.
Bronx and
Yeah, that's so
Westchester.
odd. You said that.
And,
I
and they
want
went
to
and
I
got
wanted to
it.
speak to that
And
too.
I just want to say one more thing
Yeah.
real quick. Uh, Down here in Georgia, the two largest supermarkets, Kroger and Publix, if someone calls to cancel their appointment, all of the pharmacies close in both of those stores at 8 o'clock. What a lot of people have been doing is between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. They call to see if anybody canceled for the next day, and if someone canceled for the next day, they're getting immediate because they can't waste it. Greg had just said that as well. They can't waste it. So Kroger and Publix, those two stores, people are able to actually be vaccinated in the next day because of supply and demand. And I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, I wanted to go back on what you said, Steve, about Westchester. There was a time when they were doing it, and people were going to Westchester to get the vaccine because they couldn't get it anywhere else. And now the Bronx is saying that, you have to show proof of residency to live, that you live there to get it. So that's good that they were able to do that.
Yeah, I know a lot of
Yeah,
neighborhoods are doing that now.
I wanted to speak to that because New York is cracking down on people coming into the 5 boroughs because there a lot of people in these urban communities are saying they're not able to get the vaccine because people from other areas are coming into their communities and
Right.
taking up all their vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
think Cuomo had put something in place now, and de Blasio, they're working on something where you got to show ID, you got to be from that area. They're trying to, and they're opening up another site in Brooklyn and one in Queens to try to do 3,000 people a day at each site.
Okay. Can
Not to
anybody explain to me
rationalize,
what
not
pop-up sites are? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. That was Steve?
Oh no. Yeah, it was nothing. Just not to justify my aunt and my uncle, but they're from the Bronx. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, all right. All right.
Cool.
Can anybody explain to me what pop-up sites are? I mean, do they just appear for one day and go away? I mean, is there any announcement that this site is going to be here on a certain day? And when they say pop-up, that kind of, throws me off in terms of what they are.
Yeah, because
And
pop-up is temporary. Yeah.
right.
Something that's,
Well,
yeah.
down here,
Mm-hmm.
I guess a pop-up site. There's a couple of arenas here. Well, one arena in particular, the Coliseum, where they have basketball events and stuff like that.
Mhm.
They set up pop-up tents really in the parking lot, set up cones to direct the traffic, and I mean you're able to administer. I know they did the testing there, and I'm sure that's how they plan on doing a lot of the vaccinations. You can have them done that way. I mean, it's a mobile clinic, and it's 2 tents, so you can take it down, put it back up, and
Right.
in the morning and stuff like that. So, and that's
Right.
just to be able to
Mm-hmm.
be able to facilitate a large amount of people. That's
Right.
the best
Yeah.
way to do it. That's something we
Wow.
did in the military, and those sites are reminiscent of what you see in the military.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Matter of fact,
I think
military
Oh.
I don't want to
personnel
get lost.
manning the site.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to get lost on the term pop-up site.
Mhm.
They're calling them pop-up sites because it's at places that don't normally do that kind of stuff. But
Gotcha.
once they open them up, they're going to be there for they're going to be there for a while. Like they're going to
Okay.
utilize them on a daily basis. It's not until they get, people vaccinated all over. They're trying to accommodate as many people as possible. So
Right. Right.
they're using like the Javits Center. They're using Citi Field in New York. There are a lot of places
Mm-hmm.
that don't
So
normally
those.
do things like that, but that's where the sites are.
Oh, okay, that's what we call considered that pop-up.
Right, large
Those.
because like City Field has a large parking lot. It could
Yeah.
accommodate a
Yeah.
lot of people. The
Like
trains
anything
run
outside
through
of
it.
a hospital is considered a
Right,
pop-up. Okay.
exactly,
They're
Got you.
used to big crowds. You got
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
people being able
Right.
to come in and out quickly, and that
They
to
can
me that's
handle it.
perfect,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you talk about being able to cater to anybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They most of
I
them
think they were talking about Yankee Stadium being another site.
Yeah,
Yep,
Places
yes.
that
that's inner
are
city.
close to the subway, people can get to them. They can get on the train.
Right.
A lot of people don't drive. It's easier for these people to make it to these places. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to fill in all the blanks. Easy access,
Hmm.
transportation, get people there. They're trying to encourage people, especially low income people who can't get to these places. That are some of these spots were in like really obscure places or clinks, and they just couldn't get there. Now they're putting them in places where people can get to.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now, what about the availability? I think that's where the bottleneck is now. You got places, all right, but you don't have the vaccine. Because I mean, I check CBS, I check the New York State, the health, whatever, and they lay out these locations in New York State, and I'm seeing places like up in northwestern New York. I'm not going up there. You know what I mean? And that's because you'd see like no appointments, no appointment, no appointment. Then you see appointments available, but that's way upstate. So I am frustrated. My wife and we check maybe 4 or 5 times a day. Maybe we should do more. All right, but we check in CVS. We check in the New York State of Health, New York State website. Like we got Stony Brook near me. All right, when we got some other places, it doesn't matter if I can get it on Long Island, Jones Beach. So we just cannot make an appointment. It just snapped up.
They've got people, Walt, on that are utilizing every single available means, cell phones, laptops, iPods. People have 6 or 7 different things operating in their homes and are refreshing just to try to get an appointment. So
Right.
what you and your wife are dealing with is absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know if you saw 2 days ago down in the Tampa Bay area, thousands and thousands of people that had appointments for first and second vaccinations that were denied because they ran out. I mean, and you're starting to get a whole bunch of information about all of these, all of these vaccines that had to be thrown out because they were taken out to be administered on that day, and the people didn't show in some of these remote locations and things of that nature. And you remember, Moderna and Pfizer. One had to be refrigerated at 100 degrees below zero, and the other one had to be refrigerated at some very, very, low level and things of that nature.
Right.
After those being exposed to the air, they're ineffective. So I mean, there's been a lot of waste, a lot of stuff that has and it's going to all come out at some point. How much was already wasted that could have been placed in people's arms.
Well, I know I was reading that Joe Biden ordered 200 million more doses of the vaccine because there is a shortage.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shortage.
Well,
I mean, you have location, but you don't have the vaccine.
Well, next month you should see a big ramp up in the dosage because like Michelle was saying, Johnson and Johnson is coming out with theirs. You got AstraZeneca coming out with something. You got Novavax coming out with something. And the Novavax one, I believe, is in a pill form. So, and it doesn't require the treatment that the rest of them do. So shortly, there's going to be some help coming, some backup coming, and it'll kind of push this process forward a little faster.
Yeah, I hope so, man.
I'm following all of them because I'm investing in a lot of them. So I'm constantly reading up on them.
Yeah,
listen.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey.
Amen.
But I'm also following it because I want to find out which one is better to take. Like I'm concerned about the Pfizer one because it has to be at this extreme temperature. Now, what if these people are not? What if they're not following the procedure and you get a bad batch? I'm a little nervous about that. That's why I wanted to wait for the next group, next crop to come out. And those other companies had just a little bit more time to work out the kinks. So that's how I'm looking at it.
I think Moderna has to be stored at a very low temperature also, right? Moderna and Pfizer. Those are the two.
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay. All right.
I love the fact that Chris is on it in terms of the financial ramifications.
That's for sure. Been on it since May.
That's well. Listen, so
And make
many
some
other
money too.
people
Yeah, you
are
got to
doing
take
it,
us
right?
out.
They're making money on it. We got
You
to be in
dog.
the
That's
loop
that's
on all
right.
parts of
That's
this.
right.
You doggone right. Absolutely right. Shoot, I wish
I'm
Absolutely.
I
100% with you on that, man. That's the
I
way to
wish
do
I
it.
invested in that doggone dating app with that woman that she's became a billionaire yesterday. But anyway, keep going.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
please. I don't. I mean, I'm getting. I'm.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna say,
That's another
Dag.
show
That's
and a
another
show we
show.
must
Yes, it
have.
is.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to talk
Yeah.
about that. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, folks. People in the audience. While we are at this point, if you haven't started following us, please do so. Please share. Please like. I mean, we'd like to hear your comments on the content that we have. All right, and just to make sure that we do this show for you to get information out to the people in the community. So we want to make sure that we are on point. All right, we want to make sure that we're on point. So we would appreciate your comments. You can send it to our email at I'm sorry, at the Walt Weekly at gmail.com, at the Walt Weekly at gmail.com, or you can go to our website at www.thewaltweekly.com. Okay.
Very
All right.
good,
Now going
partner. You
back
got
to,
it.
I got it right, did I? Okay. I'm getting lessons from you, Michelle. Work with the best. You got something got to rub off on you. No, anyway, to get back to this, I do have a question regarding the number of people of color are getting the available that are not getting the available vaccines. Let's take a location like, let's say, Stony Brook University, all right, and they get in 10,000 doses. But the majority of those doses are going to white folks, all right? And I think that prompted the state government to put in these trackers where they started tracking the demographics. But I do believe that there's discrimination in the dispensing of this vaccine. How do y'all guys feel about that?
Well, we did witness that with the Hasidic area when it first came out in Williamsburg, where they stole the vaccine. So never heard anything about that again, have you?
Yeah. And
No,
they
we
were some of
haven't.
the biggest offenders, didn't want to wear
Yes,
masks, didn't want to do
exactly.
anything. They
And
want to
the first ones
comply.
to get it. Yep.
Yep. Same thing with Congress and all the rest of them. Didn't want to comply, but they were the first online.
Oh yeah,
So
oh
it's
yeah.
a
Congress
problem.
is a
It's a
problem.
problem. I think I was watching a program the other day, and the Biden administration is looking to appoint people for each state to oversee the distribution of the medication. They were giving the locales they were trying to give them time to get it together, but they're not waiting anymore. They're just gonna, step in a little bit more and make their presence felt with the distribution of the vaccines.
No,
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that
think
would
that's
be.
something that you can't wait for. I mean, that's something that has to be jumped on because, now's the time. You
Well, I
don't
think
want to
they were
wait.
figuring out that the previous administration was not
Sure.
forthcoming with the information, and they did even less than they thought they did. So that's part of
Yeah.
the problem.
That's a
There
shame.
was nothing set up, so they had to kind of build this from the ground up.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That's true.
And what do y'all guys think about these variants? Well, one's coming from the UK and another one's from South Africa. And the one from the UK, they say, is maybe 50 to 70 times, more contagious than what we have now. And the one from the UK should be taking over in
And
terms
Brazil
of
too.
the COVID that's out here. That
Hmm.
should take over and be the dominant one, the
Right.
dominant strain. Yeah. So what do y'all guys think
Hey,
about that?
you when you sit back and you think about all of these different variants, and even in terms of the 90-day window that was given to me by all the different medical professionals about going ahead and becoming vaccinated. I'm seriously looking over and pouring through information, because of the South African variant, the Brazilian variant, the UK variant, and seeing that, whether or not I should keep that appointment on the 18th. I mean, it, it- you know, it's just every single day, four, five, six, seven times a day. I get pop ups on the phone, as I'm sure many of you do, or if you're not looking at the news
Right.
or hearing something on the radio, it just changes. They still, you could listen to Fauci, you could listen to Sanjay Gupta, you could listen to everybody. Every single day, there's something new. They do not know what. I mean, they can't give you any information with 100% certainty, and that right there is scary in and of itself. So, these different
Yeah.
variants,
Hmm.
who the heck knows? I mean, stuff. When you looked at where it was showing up in South Carolina
Hmm.
initially, and some of these other places, and people that hadn't even traveled, and this stuff popped up in these areas. How you to figure out how these people contracted it? How did it spread there? Or whatever, when nobody traveled outside of the country, you just don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, very true.
I I also
And
think
it.
a problem with it
Hmm.
is the lack of attention that they gave to it when it was in the beginning allowed this thing to mutate. As it gets into different people, it reacts different in everybody's body. It
Hmm.
you know it takes on a different life.
Right.
It's like the
Right.
flu. They have so many different variants of the flu out there. These
Hmm.
things adapt to where they are, and they didn't put the effort into checking this early, and now it's really out of control. To be honest with
It is, and I think that's
you,
probably
Well,
why a lot of people don't want it, skeptical about getting it because there's so much confusion about it. And like Steve said, it changes every day. So
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I would beg to say the amount of people that they believe had it is probably double that.
Oh, yeah, I heard
They
that.
don't
Yeah,
really
And
know.
maybe five
I
times as
don't. I
much. They
don't
don't
believe
know.
those numbers.
Yeah.
I
that's
don't believe
right.
those
Those are
numbers that they
estimates.
post on the screen.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Can't.
That's
That
all.
that's why you
And
should get the
just
vaccine. Right? That's what we
Yeah.
recommend. We
look at
get the
look at what
vaccine.
just came out about the nursing homes in the state of New York, and the way
Yeah.
that they're going after Cuomo,
Right.
who everybody was listening to at the very very beginning because how thorough he was. Now we're hearing
It
something
was
that's
covering
different over the
up.
last few days.
Well, that's what
Cover
you
up.
get when you're out there on TV every day. Seeing when people started looking in your background and stuff like that, and see what you've been doing, see what you can find out that's bad. And I think that's what happened to him. But then again, uh, Cuomo, I've heard this before that he did make a big mistake in the beginning, back in March, with nursing homes, sending people with COVID to the nursing homes. All right. So I did hear that before. So maybe it's
Like
true.
Chris said, nobody knows what these numbers are. I mean, or whoever indicated that. Nobody knows what these numbers are. 465,000. Is up in the corner when you look at the news and everything like that. That's absolute nonsense. And who knows? I mean, there could be million deaths here in the United States as a result of COVID. How would you know?
I also don't discount.
Right.
One of my feelings from the very beginning, and I know a lot of people share this, is that number one, this is man-made. It could be some type of biological weapon. So, if that's something that there's a possibility, well, there's also a possibility for virants to be the same. Okay, they got through the initial strand. Well, it takes a little science to come up with a variant. So again, not knowing the origin has a lot to do with how I feel about these variants coming out. Like
Right.
Steve and Chris said, we don't know. We
No,
don't
we
know.
don't. We don't. They don't.
So
Yeah.
we got to play it as safe as possible with the information that we have.
Well, I mean, I've also heard that coronavirus is going to be like the flu. Every year you got to get a shot because it will mutate. And that's the same with the corona, which is the flu. It's the same thing. Every year you have to get a shot, which covers the
But who
mutations.
speaking to that, Walt? Even when people become vaccinated, has anybody heard how long the vaccines are effective? I don't
I heard
know.
a lot of different things. There's nothing firm. Nothing firm. All right. The only thing I've heard is that you may have to, maybe like the flu shot. Every year you may have to get a shot.
Well, it doesn't prevent you from getting it. It's just you get less symptoms. You can control it more. It's not preventing you from having it.
Yeah, but how long though? Nobody knows
They
how
don't
long.
know. They don't know.
They don't know.
Marge just made a comment. Is the medical society doing enough research on this virus? Or does anyone think that we should be raising our voices to the people in the world? I mean, I'm sure they're doing their research, definitely, no doubt. They had to in order to, create this vaccine, but they really don't know, they don't.
It's new
They don't know if
territory.
it's,
It's new
yeah,
territory, though.
yeah, but they had to do something because too many people were.
And I want to add another thing as far as Cuomo goes. It has gotten so political with people, and he stepped on so many people's toes. You don't know if these people are coming out with this information because they want to hurt him, or it's just so much confusion surrounding
Right,
the
right.
information that's coming from them. You don't know what to believe from them.
I completely agree. He made the number 45 look like a bigger jerk than he already was, because
That's facts.
people were listening to his news conferences and totally dismissing
Yep,
number
everybody
45.
just tuned into him. That was it. No,
That's it.
from
So
all
the
over.
political part of it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the
Yeah.
political part of it is definitely something that
Yeah.
is in play.
Right,
Okay.
definitely.
And then what do y'all guys think about the lack of a proper direction in terms of wearing masks? They say, okay, wear 2 layers. Then Dr. Fauci say, yeah, 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. What do y'all guys think about that moving target? Because it moves. It's fluid in terms of wearing masks. So how do y'all guys take that when you heard it?
I mean,
Well,
I don't see it
now,
as a problem. You can never
mm,
be too careful, right?
now they're
Absolutely.
telling people to double up on your mask. So,
Yeah, I doubled. We doubled. I think we're gonna go
I,
triple.
damn.
Then
Well,
we're at
Donna just
58.
said that she said she read somewhere that it's 6 months time frame for the vaccine. After that, you can't get it again. What kind of hell mess is that?
Wait a minute now. Oh, you can't get it. Could Didi come
Oh,
on? I got some space for you. I want you. Can you able to speak to that or not?
No, I think she means 6 months after you get it, you can get it again, maybe. That's what she means.
Yeah, can you clarify that, please?
Yeah, she said
time
after
frame. After that, you can.
Oh,
Oh,
you
you
can
can get
get
it
it
again.
again.
you can get it
Okay,
again.
but it was so it only lasts 6 months. Damn.
All right. I mean, damn, that's more than one shot a year.
Mm.
That's 4 shots a year.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Depending on yeah. You got to live by the needle.
That's
It's just
Tuskegee experiment. Sorry.
every day something new comes out. I mean, every day. Listen, in the hour and 10 minutes that we're on the Walt Weekly podcast, something's changed. It's just
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
You're gonna have
every
to live
day
out of bubbles in a
something.
minute. You're gonna have to live in a bubble.
you know,
Shit.
yeah.
Well, I was thinking, and this is the way out there, is that to even go outside to breathe the air, you're going to need if some type of life support that you would use when you go to Mars, because you can't really breathe the air anymore. Has anybody ever thought of
You
that?
know,
Only me, right?
That sounds
I'm
crazy
way out
because
there.
you've seen
I mean,
movies like that
Yeah,
a lot of those movies are coming to light.
yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
yeah. I
That's
mean, to even
crazy.
go outside or even just to breathe, you need a life support. Meaning, you need an air tank, filter and all this kind of stuff that you have to wear to go to the store.
Well, I'm definitely
And
not.
a lot of
Any
that stuff
I'm
comments
is
on that?
definitely
defective
not
as
going to speak
well.
that into existence.
The
I'm
whole
I don't
body
know going
suit.
believing
that
that that's
far.
not the case.
Need a whole
Okay.
body suit.
All right. All
At
right. All
at
right.
some point, you just gotta live and deal with it. I'm not going
Yep.
that far.
Yep.
All right. But anyway, I do want to just say that I think people should get the shot when your time comes, and please don't jump in front of the line. Let the people 65 and over and the people with comorbidities get their shot. But I do think that there's going to be a black market in these vaccines that's probably already going on. Where people go out and buy or selling it online.
Yeah.
But
That's when it gets scary.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's going
Well,
on now. Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
look at the all the every few weeks you see a huge bust of these bogus N95 masks because they know that's the most effective mask of them all. Every few weeks you see
Right.
you know they
Yep.
see some
Yeah.
warehouse and this that and the other 300,000 fake
Mm.
N95 masks and things of that nature. So the vaccines. I mean, please, man. I mean,
Right.
unfortunately, people have done, all kinds of crazy things, back alley abortions. You don't think that somebody's going to be vaccinated
Right.
and, with
Yep.
needles and,
Buy it underground.
and
Yep.
something. Right. Exactly.
Black
It's
market.
crazy.
Well,
Definitely.
I know
Definitely.
there's going to be a black market in it because there's a shortage. So anywhere you have a shortage, a lack of supply in the market, somebody's going to fill that gap.
Hey, yo! I got the vaccines, man. I got the vaccines.
Oh man, I like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yo, step over here, man.
Moderna over here.
Yeah,
Got
that's
your
it. That's
Moderna
it.
right here,
That's
man.
it. Yeah,
There you
that's true.
go.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Yo,
Different
that's
levels of
funny.
it, different prices. Yeah.
Yeah, you give him the money, man. You give him the
The
money.
one shot is gonna be more expensive.
Oh no,
Uh,
give me the money. I want you to go see my man around the corner. He take care of you.
it's not funny, but we got to make some. You got to laugh at it.
Shit,
And
that's
laughing makes you
real.
feel better.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
Laugh to keep from
that's
crying.
coming.
Laugh to keep from
That's
crying.
coming.
That's
That's
it.
coming. Yeah. Hey, it's probably already out there. If you look hard enough, somebody's selling. So, but guys, anyway, we're pushing up against the clock again. Really, this is very enjoyable. Uh, as I said, if you have comorbidities, you're 65 and over, get the
Hmm.
shot. Get the shot.
Hmm.
Even
Yeah.
though, and don't give up. I
Right.
mean, I'm very frustrated in trying to get this shot. But we keep trying because sooner or later we're going to break through, and my wife and I will be able to get the shot.
Well, that's what y'all get for not thinking y'all not part of New York City.
Well, I know I'm not going to say anything to that. No, I'm not saying. I'm
Yeah,
not
Long
saying.
Island people,
I'm
y'all
from
keep y'all
Brooklyn.
separate. Yeah,
I
but
am
you
from
live in
Brooklyn.
Long Island.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Hey,
okay, whatever.
listen,
All right.
you better get out every means possible of communication that
Yeah.
has internet and keep refreshing. There's some appointments out there somewhere. I mean, people are getting them.
Right.
They're getting them.
Yeah, they're getting them. You better come out that. You better come out of your cave, Walter. You're gonna have to. You have to drop kick somebody to get that vaccine, buddy.
Well, I'm gonna do whatever
And
necessary. You
if
know that. You know
By
me.
all means
I
necessary.
am resourceful. Yeah, definitely. If I
By
got to go
all
to
means
Chavis, I go to
necessary.
Chavis.
and you said you
You
said
know.
Yeah.
you said something about you found out that some of that stuff is available way upstate and things of that nature,
Hmm.
man. You and wifey might have to take you a day trip, bro. Might have to take
Right.
a day
Yeah,
trip,
Right.
yeah,
man.
yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. Fast, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We're gonna have. That's what we're gonna have to do.
So those
I'll get
pop
it.
up locations like the Javits Center, do you need to make appointments for there, or you could just walk in?
No,
Like,
I think anywhere you got to make an appointment.
Appointments.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta make an appointment. So,
Like I said, you're gonna have to drop kick somebody,
well, whatever is
jump the
necessary.
line, do something.
But I'm
Any means
already eligible.
necessary.
You know what really don't piss me off, guys, is the fact that they're allowing people under 65, without comorbidities. I think they're getting ready to move another tranche in. When I say tranche, I mean another group.
Right.
Okay. and they're gonna add another group, and they don't have enough vaccine to service the people that already do, that are due now. So how you gonna add somebody else?
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Well, anyway, I appreciate it, guys. This is very nice. Again, follow us, like us, and share. And I'm gonna turn it over to Michelle.
Yes,
And
thank you, Walter. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our sponsors and our guest panel and our audience for being in the chat room and joining the Walt Weekly Friday Live. You can follow us at www.thewaltweekly.com, IG and Facebook, The Walt Weekly, Twitter, Walt Weekly. We are on Podbean. Of course, that's the app, iTunes Podcast, iHeartRadio, and now Pandora and other streaming platforms. Steve, we want to thank you for coming in, sharing your story. We are so glad that you are well and you're getting back to normal. We appreciate you coming on. Yeah, definitely. And thanks everyone, Greg, for giving your story, and everyone in the chat room for giving theirs. Chris, thank you as well. Everybody have a great weekend and a happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. All right.
Yeah. Take it easy. I don't believe in Valentine's Day.
Yes, you do. Right. You used to.
Yeah. Okay.
Happy Suckers Day. I don't go for
Yeah, that's what I say.
Well, I'll be a big old sucker.
Okay.
Enjoy, guys.
All right. Take care.
Bye. Take care. Be safe.